Hello crypto lovers, today is August 29th, 2025, and the top crypto news is as follows. We'll start today's episode with ETFs again, where spot Bitcoin ETFs on August 27th had $81 million in inflows, and on August 28th, without BlackRock, we're at $115 million in inflows. For another day, spot Ethereum ETFs have much larger inflows thanks to BlackRock, which on August 27th, with $262 million in purchases, closed the day with $307 million in inflows. On August 28th, without the knowledge of two companies, one of which is obviously BlackRock, we're at $28 million. As for our ETFs, over the past 5 days, spot Ethereum ETFs have seen 10 times more inflows than spot Bitcoin ETFs, which we see every day on crypto news. But when you have a full statistic, it's even more impressive. Let's also say that now all the companies buying Ethereum and ETFs combined control 9% of the overall Ethereum supply. As you can see, just like Bitcoin, they're constantly accumulating. The latest news on our ETFs is pretty straightforward. 21 Shares wants a SAY ETF following Canary Capital, where we now have a second ETF for this coin. Moving on to the companies, we'll go to ARK Invest, which we learned bought $15.6 million from Bitmine, a company that's been buying Ethereum all the time. From ARK Invest, we'll move on to American Bitcoin, which is a company that aims to mine Bitcoin in America. It is controlled by the two sons of the President of America, and of course, the president is also involved. According to reports from Reuters, this company will enter the Nasdaq in September. Beyond that, a company that has gained a lot is Gryphon, whose stock has increased by 231% because in September, it will partner with American Bitcoin to include the mining power it owns, since it is a company that mines Bitcoin. If I am not mistaken, this agreement has helped its stock price increase significantly. Continuing, we will go to DeFi Development Corp, a company that is constantly buying Solana. It invested another $77 million to buy 407,247 SOL. Now, regarding Solana, we will go to a very big upgrade that Solana is planning. Specifically, we are talking about an upgrade that is still being voted on right now called Alpenglow, which proposes to change the basic mechanisms on which Solana operates. The Proof of History mechanism and the Tower BFT mechanism. These will be replaced with Voter and Rotor. Voter will reduce Solana's finalization time from 12.8 seconds to 150 milliseconds, while Rotor will improve the performance of the DeFi space on Solana and in video games. This proposal is currently being voted on and is very close to approval, as 20% have voted in favor and need 33% to pass. Only 0.1% have voted against. So we are talking about a proposal that is still being voted on but very close to approval, and if that happens, it will change Solana and it will do better than it seems. Moving on, let's talk about the Solana ecosystem, and we come to a small paradox. Let's say that traders on the Solana DEX are decreasing every day, while at the same time scams for meme coins are increasing. This is nothing new. All of this leads us to our data from Dune. We will clearly see that daily transactions on the Solana DEX have decreased from the peak, where they were close to 45 million to 14 million. If we now look at the weekly DEX transactions in the Solana ecosystem, that number had reached 33 million, while it is now at 2 million. And whatever number we look at, we will see that it is positive for the Solana ecosystem. The paradox is that these numbers may be decreasing, yet Solana's TVL is about to reach a new all-time high. It currently sits at $15.4 billion, while its all-time high is $16 billion. Very close to breaking it. The irony of the matter is that for TVL, that is the amount of money held by a blockchain, to increase, this usually goes hand in hand with increased activity on DeFi and DEX. Moving on to our news, we go back to something I told you about 2 days ago. The Department of Commerce wants to put data on the blockchain. We didn't know which blockchain back then, but now we do. And some cryptocurrencies are very happy. Specifically, the US GDP for the second quarter of 2025 has entered the Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Tron, Avalanche, Stellar, Polygon, Arbitrum, and Optimism networks with the help of exchanges Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken. And this is very important and something that is happening for the first time, if I am not mistaken, in the history of cryptocurrencies. What also made some cryptocurrencies happy is this. In the future, there will be a partnership between Chainlink and Pyth with the ministry that will allow the distribution of verified government GDP data, including statistical data and personal consumption expenditure prices throughout the DeFi ecosystem. Thanks to this development, PYTH has increased by 90% on the 24-hour chart at the time of writing this episode, while Chainlink has not been affected at all based on the price, which has not moved on the 24-hour chart. As you can see, all this is significant news for Chainlink itself. Another company that was very happy is Caliber, whose investment has increased by 162% on the 24-hour chart. The reason is that the company's board voted to invest money in Chainlink, essentially to create its own treasury, which is why its investment has increased so much. And for the last part of our day, we go to Sandbox, which does not seem to be doing well. The Sandbox platform is in the process of making significant changes, as it looks like it will lay off more than half of its 250 employees. In addition, the management will also change. Now the two founders will no longer have control over Sandbox, and all duties will be carried out by the general manager of Animoca Brands, which is the company that owns the majority of the Sandbox and does whatever it wants. In addition, the Sandbox's offices in Argentina, Uruguay, South Korea, Thailand, and Turkey will be closed, along with its headquarters in Lyon. The main reason is that video games in the cryptocurrency market, as we have said many times in crypto news, are not very strong. Few people use them, and that is why many close. So the Sandbox, with these changes, aims to bring more people into its ecosystem so that it can generate more money to survive. If it manages to do this somehow, it will also help the price, which currently reflects the low interest of the video game market in the cryptocurrency sector. And it's time to move on to our favorite cryptocurrency market, with the price standing at $111,000. That wraps up the top news for crypto today. Is August 29th, 2025. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care everyone, and have a good day.